All right, I think we're ready. How you doing? This is Ed Gray. Hey, I'm trying to get everything situated for you this evening. I'm spending a little quiet time at Greyhaven here in the Red Room. Uh, this is where it's at. Got everything situated here on the phone, so I'll be able to look at your comments as they are coming in. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes with you, about maybe 10 minutes. I'm not going to be long. Just want to go ahead and thank you for tuning in to the Commish Classics that are broadcast on Facebook Live, on Facebook rather. But tonight I'm coming to you on Facebook Live to talk about, talk about an event that I have scheduled for tomorrow with Dr. Michael Phillips. Dr. Michael Phillips, and I'd like to send a shout out to Dr. Phillips. I'm going to tag him on this Facebook Live as well. I am so privileged and honored to be with him on this webinar, which is sponsored by the Peace and Conciliation Group, which is led by. I'll tell you guys about her later, but it's led by a colleague, a cohort of mine, in the doctoral program at SMU, and she's just received her doctorate. I'm still, as you know, working on mine on environmental justice, but I want to take time out to talk to you about history in Dallas and the book White Metropolis. White Metropolis. And that's the book that we will be talking about tomorrow from 2 to 4 p.m. on the webinar. We've been putting the logins for that webinar that's coming up. Now, this is a classic book. Everyone in Dallas needs to read this book, White Metropolis by Dr. Michael Phillips. And you really need to read this book because it explains how Dallas, the Metroplex, how Dallas specifically became the center of Klan activity across these United States. The largest Klan chapter was in Dallas, Texas, right here in Dallas, Texas. The largest Klan chapter was in Dallas, Texas. That was Clavering number 66, located in downtown Dallas. And the head of the Klan, of the National Klan, was based right here, Hiram Wesley Evans. And we're going to drop that knowledge tomorrow because we want people to understand about White Metropolis. It's called Race, Ethnicity, and Religion in Dallas, 1841 to 2001. A long time, a long time. I would be amiss to again thank Dr. Phillips. I had the opportunity last year to speak with him or to present with him at the Dallas Collin County College, in which I spoke on the integration of Dallas sports. Everyone talks about the integration of national sports, who the first black baseball player, Jackie Robinson, who's the first NFL player, but who was the first NFL player here in Dallas? Who was the first baseball player here in Dallas? The integration of Dallas sports. So I talked about that. I've had the privilege and honor to also be on the same presenting platforms with Dr. Marvin Delaney, in which he spoke at the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated MLK breakfast a couple of years back. And I've also had the opportunity to be with Dr. George Keaton, Black Dallas Remember. Remember Black Dallas. We always have to remember where we came from. And the reason why is because we may soon be going back there. Yeah, really, seriously. This is what this is about. If we don't know our history, we're doomed to repeat it. And Dr. Harry Robinson at the Dallas African American Museum, shout out to him as well. I've been involved in projects with him as well, such as bringing the Monticello exhibit, the Thomas Jefferson Monticello Sally Hemings exhibit to the Dallas-Fort Worth area a couple years back. But now let's go ahead and talk about White Metropolis. Pick up the book, tune in tomorrow. We're going to drop this knowledge. We're going to drop this knowledge because we think it's timely. It's timely in the sense that when we look at white metropolis, we realize that if we were going to go ahead and do an update on this book, we will go ahead and talk about the Confederate statues, the removal of the Confederate statues, which Dr. Phillips was involved in that. And I'm gonna give you a tip. You know, Dr. Phillips was the progenitor, the originator of removing the Confederate statues. You know, when we think about the removal of the Confederate statues, such as General Robert E. Lee and, well, what was then called Lee Park, now it's Oaklawn Park, the park that it was named at first, and also those 4 statues that were downtown Dallas at Pioneer Park. The person who started that removal was Dr. Michael Phillips. You know, it's important for people to say that they're not racist, but it's more important for them to say they're anti-racist. See, saying you're not racist says I'm not racist. You know that, and this is directed to my white friends and colleagues. Just say you're not racist. I'm not racist. I have black friends. I don't have a racist bone in my body. I don't use the N word. I like Dak Prescott. Okay, so you're not a racist. But being an anti-racist is more important. Being an anti-racist means you do something beyond saying those things that I just said. Yeah, that's right. You do things like, I want to remove the Confederate statues. I'm going to go out on a limb by telling people that they are racist, which is what Dr. Phillips has done. And he's paid a price for that as well. Being anti-racist is not a favorable thing to be if you are white. No, because you get ostracized and stigmatized because you are sticking your neck out against what is perceived to be whiteness. So tune in tomorrow when we will go ahead and look at white metropolis again. And I just want to go ahead and drop a couple of nuggets in with you as well. You know, want to talk to you about some other things that's going on in this book. That this book is a classic. It talks about everyone. A. Maceo Smith, Juanita Craft. It also talks about the bombings on Hatcher Street. Talks about it talks about where South Dallas was actually a hotbed, if you will, for white flight and also white fight. So you know, check it out. It also talks about what we now doing now. Like I said before, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. You know, gentrification is not a new thing. It's something that's always been going on. One of the things that it talks about is how State and Thomas Street, how we lost State and Thomas Street. You know, it also talks about the paving of people's homes in South Dallas to build a parking lot in South Dallas so people from the suburbs can go to Fair Park and not have to see us. Yeah, that's right, us. So stay tuned tomorrow. White Metropolis, Dr. Michael Phillips. Hey, it's going to be pretty good. I think what I'm going to do, since I love this book, is quite possibly come back from time to time to read and summarize some chapters, because I know some of you ain't going to buy the book, but you need to. See you tomorrow. Take care.